everyone. My name is Naoko Matsumoto. I am a CEO, a founder and CEO of traditional Japanese matchmaker, and he is
Roland.
He's my husband and business partner.
Ah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Today, we are going to interview one of our successful and happiest couple, Mr. David Wilson and
Yes.
Satoko
Yes.
from Puerto Rico. Here we go. よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
よろしくお願いします。はい、じゃあ、質問から参りましょう。
All right, David.
Yes, sir.
Question for you. How is your current marriage life? If you don't mind, would you please share with our members?
It's been a great experience. You know, it's my first time being married. So first time being married to a Japanese woman. So it's first time all around. So it's been a wonderful experience. Being married, starting a family, you know, having our daughter's now 1.5 years old. Mm-hmm. So just having a family in general it's been wonderful and great. No, I don't have any complaints. We share a lot of great things to do together that we both like to do. So overall, it's been a wonderful experience that I hope it continues to grow.
Great. じゃあ、日本語で聞きます。早速ですが、差し支えない程度に、ご自身のこと、ご主人のこと、現在の状況などを簡単にお話しくださいますか？
はい、名前からですかね。
はい。
はい、さとこです。で、主人がデイビッドです。で、今結婚して4年くらい。
4年だね、4年です。
Pretty much 4 years, 3 years?
I don't know the question.
Yeah.
What's the question here? 4 years
もう
what?
すぐ4年ぐらい get married.
Oh, how long we've been married?
Uh-huh.
It's been 10 years, baby.
もうすぐで4年で、今子供1人と娘と
2019.
お腹に赤ちゃんが。
Yeah.
2009. I checked when you sign up. March 6th, Davidson signed up.
Mm-hmm.
What year?
2020.
Oh, 2020.
2020.
So a little, just shy of 4 years, maybe.
Just the beginning of pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So whole pandemic, people, world,
Yeah.
Japan was on a lockdown.
then you started whole different world. You started something wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
We were wondering why you signed up at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it's like you're basically everything's on lockdown at that moment. I think it was just a matter of bad timing. You know, you sign up and then all of a sudden you know lockdown's happening at the same time, but you didn't want to stop going with this. But you're also in lockdown and you've got a lot of extra time on your hands that you can really focus. And everybody turned to their computers and doing things more indoors. So I think it allowed a lot of more social time between us. We were socializing every day using the computer because she wasn't going to work. She had to stay at home. So it made it very easy for us to bond very quickly, using the Zoom or whatever other FaceTime software system. So yeah, it worked out really good. I think if it wasn't for the pandemic, it probably would have been much longer.
So Corona pandemic helps.
I think most definitely.
Thank you.
That's the pro. The disadvantage is that she couldn't come to the United States, and I couldn't go to Japan. And And then there was a point where, you know, we got very, very fortunate and lucky, and she rolled the dice and came to the United States.
So
Okay.
when did you meet the
For the
first
first
time?
time,
Mm.
I think it was in August of that year. August. Of
August.
2010. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
First time in person.
I
In
think it
person.
was first time in
Yeah.
person. She actually
She visited. To,
Yeah.
visited. Yeah.
The
I
United
couldn't get
States.
into Japan. Japan had a
Yeah, I know.
lockdown, and
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
yeah. So
So
she decided to come over here.
She's brave.
Very brave. She got detained at customs for like
5
5 hours. Yeah. So that was an experience.
Mhm.
Wow.
But she was very fortunate. They let her out, and then she stayed in the United States for 90 days. And after the 90 days, we got married. We just flew to Nevada, to Las Vegas, where they were still doing marriages, and it was an easier process than trying to do it here in Puerto Rico or anywhere else. It was having, oh, we're shut down. No, so we just went to Las Vegas and did it,
Mhm.
and then went back to California, and from California back to Puerto Rico. So
Wow.
no wedding, nothing. No wedding party, no reception. So it was it was a really a quick get your marriage license, go to a chapel. And the biggest reason that we were doing that is because her visa was up, and we were very scared at the time. Like, well, if she goes back to Japan, I'm not going to have an opportunity to go to Japan, and you're probably not going to get an opportunity to come back to the States, and our relationship's going to probably fade away. And it was a good call, because Japan just barely recently had opened their border back up, right? I mean, I think it was just a couple months ago or something, where they've now allowed it for tourism. We were just in Japan, a couple months ago?
Yeah. We
And
just
it's
came
like,
back.
it was a huge difference between, just a year before that, when we went. There was no foreigners there. I was like the only foreigner. And the only reason I got to even go back that time is because I could get a visa, because I was married, and now I was considered to be a relative. And so they would let me come in. So my, our daughter and I got to go. We actually went back. I think the first time was on the Olympics. We got to see some of the marathon runners in the streets at that time. But very strict policies, very strict.
Yeah,
quarantine for like 30 days. It was crazy.
So how's Satoko-san, how's your parents?
My parents, they say okay.
This is okay.
They say okay. They say okay.
Full of energy, and they're doing great. And yeah, her parents are very supportive and very open and stuff, so it's hard to communicate a little bit with them, but we have a pocket talk, so we can do the we use a translator.
So
we go to Japan every year now. So we go for at least once a month, 1 month out of the year, we'll go to Japan and stay in Japan. So
what's your favorite time to visit Japan? What time of the year?
Well, I haven't had a chance to go during the cherry blossom season, so I'd really like to do that. And I haven't gone during Christmas yet, so I don't know what that's going to be. But any time of the year, it's just there's so much to do in Japan. I think it's just very wonderful. She lives in a small town in Ehime, which is Matsuyama. Is it Matsuyama? So they have the really
Shikoku Island.
Shikoku Island.
Where's that?
They have really nice, beautiful. They're very well known for the hot bath, or the Dogo
Onsen.
the onsen.
Dogo Onsen, spring, hot springs.
The
Dogo.
hot springs are it's very, and
Natural.
it's very beautiful. They have a lot of bridges from one island to the next. which is very beautiful. A lot of greenery. It kind of reminds me of Hawaii in a way, like or Puerto Rico, very tropical in a way. So it's a pretty area. We actually we're getting a condo in Matsuyama, but you know, you get to take a year to build it, but it's very affordable, you know, and it's a nice place. And surprisingly, during the Golden Week, every hotel is sold out. You can't get a hotel during the Golden Week there.
Busy.
Yes, super busy.
Really? Oh.
I guess everywhere in Japan's busy during that
Yeah,
time period, but
everywhere.
boy, I think a lot of city people from Tokyo love to go because it gets them out of the city and they like that to get out into nature. So if you're a nature person, it's a great place to go.
Yeah, nature.
And you can enjoy the hot bath, the hot springs. So it's a wonderful experience.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, you want to go. Okay. I checked the timeline. You signed up early March 2020. And you had a consultation March 8th and become a full member March 23rd. And you met Satoko-san April.
Yeah.
Early April 10.
Yeah.
After that, our matchmaker, Luna, asked David-san, would you like to meet more introduction? Would you like more introduction? And he said, no. He said, no.
What? I said, go. I said, more. No, I didn't say no.
Oh, I am exclusive with Satoko-san.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So you are a quick decision maker.
She is.
I think it wasn't that it was a quick decision maker. I just feel like if you're gonna, you know, start something with an individual, you should at least give it some time to like try to get it off the ground, to try to establish a good communication baseline with that individual. So what I was really trying to do was just like, okay, let me communicate with Satoko-san, you know, first and see how things go between the two of us first. I didn't want to get caught up in a multitude of, you know, communications and chatting. I think it would have kind of diluted, and I think I would have just gotten burned out trying to keep up with a bunch of conversations with, you know, a bunch of individuals at the same time. I think it kind of dilutes the quality of the conversation and everything.
I see.
So I think it was different for Satoko. She was she was talking to at least 10 guys.
No, just him.
Oh, just me? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I feel special now.
Our members, like you guys, less meeting, you know, or few meeting will be successful. Getting married quicker than men and women who want more and more and more. I say more. And then, so you are very, what is it? Good example.
Very
quick decision making and sincere correspondence.
Yeah. I think in general, when you're dating a person for the first time, you know, you typically get to see them, you know, if you're working during the week, then you tend to go on a date, maybe a Friday, a Saturday, and you get to do, you know, then maybe you chat once or twice during the week. But, you know, it's probably the same thing in Japan. I mean, you know, work weeks in the States can be, you know, very cumbersome and you're consistently on the go, push. So, you know, and then all of a sudden here comes a pandemic and nobody's working. And the next thing you know, you're spending 24/7 with a person. So you take that 1 or 2 hour date on a Saturday with that person. Next thing you know, she's in California with me and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you take that and add that up in the 90 days that we were inseparable, it's a lot of actual date time that we compacted versus probably doing that amount of time could have been dating a person for a year or 6 months or longer. So yeah, we really hit the ground running very quickly, and not having to work. You only had each other to really focus on.
That's great.
It's like you can't really go anywhere. It's like there's no restaurants open to go and have dinner. You're stuck ordering food in, and you're just stuck watching, some movies and board games and arts and crafts. The nice thing is that we did get to travel, and we got to come, to Puerto Rico and stay in Puerto Rico, and we're in a really isolated area. And it's wide open and spacious, so a lot of jungle around us and stuff, and we got to just have all that wide open space. To this day, neither one of us ever caught COVID. We're still free of COVID, surprisingly. And I think it's just because we've just been out in the middle of the boonies with each other, and nobody else is around. So
Sounds nice.
Okay, so I have a question. David-san, were you looking for specifically Japanese woman or any Asian woman?
I was looking specifically for Japanese. I went online, I Googled Japanese dating service. I was looking for something more than just an app. I was looking for something that had a really, matchmaking process that could vet candidates. So I didn't want to get stuck in a catfish scenario or something. And I specifically chose Japanese because I went to Japan before. And while I was in Japan, I fell in love with the custom and the culture. A lot of those things were just kind of naturally in my life, like the gardening and the bonsai and the koi fish, and just the kind of lifestyle of the quietness and the respectfulness and the cleanliness, and just the kind of the way that the Japanese women were a little bit more softer and seemed a little bit more reserved and not so flamboyant or outspoken. We have that term in the States, oh, she's a little too over Americanized. I don't like to say, too bad about a lot of American women, but it's not a lot of a success sometimes. That a lot of individuals on both men and women's side, a lot of people have the misconception about the United States. It's like, oh, it's so easy. You go there and you're just going to make a ton of money, and it's like the world's playground in the United States, and everybody wants the house, and then they want the bigger house, and they want the car and the nicer car, keeping up with the Jones syndrome type thing. And a lot of women get caught up into that here, and it makes it very difficult to really buckle down on a good relationship, let alone a marriage, when it takes two individuals to try to work together to make that marriage, work. It's not all fun and games and happiness and lavish dating. There's a time where you're like, okay, the dating and going out and the honeymoon phase has to come to a stop, and we have to really focus on our family now and making that work. And so I feel like, I think a lot of Japanese women kind of have that mentality and quality versus, the less success that I had in the United States with doing that.
Wow, very well spoken.
Oh, thank you. So
Thank you very much.
We probably shared a similar opinion there.
So,じゃあ、
My turn?
これ聞いて。はい。
Well, you touched on this, David, but is there a specific reason why you chose our service?
TJM.
Exactly. Yeah, very
thousands of
specific reason. I
Yes.
did not like the regular dating app that feels like it does not have it's more generalized, and it doesn't give you a personalized experience. And I wanted something where I knew that I could get a one-on-one vetted service where it's like, I know who I'm going to be meeting, it's not going to be, fake pictorials. I know that if I'm paying for this service, which is costs much more money than it does to join up on a quick dating app, that the other person on the other end is spending the same amount of money, is going to be very serious, a serious-minded individual. And so I just didn't want to get caught up in getting, a gazillion pictures of going through them and then them not being what they really, really are. And, if you're this far in the United States and Japan, you really need someone in the middle that can connect the two together to make it a good experience. And having I think it's like my matchmaker or the counselor that can really communicate for both sides of us is very beneficial. It made it very easy. I didn't have to sit on an app all night long trying to read profiles and figure out if this profile was right or it's real. The matchmaker did it all for me. I had an interview with her and she said, okay, I'll be back with a few candidates for you, and then we'll go from there. And so it was very efficient and very effective. So it hit all those perfect categories to make it. It was a great experience.
Yeah, how about Satoko-san? Have you tried online dating or before?
No, I never tried.
You never?
But pretty much the same reason why I like the kaiwa. I mean,
She has friends that use the dating apps, and she
really?
tries to tell them, like,
I
hey,
see.
you should try this one. It's it costs more money, but the efficiency and the ROI, the return on your investment, is huge compared to those other ones, that you're going after. I think the service is much better for women than it is for men, in my opinion, because you're vetting out men that are very serious. You're doing the background checks, you're meeting them face to face, and you're getting a dollar amount that you have to take it serious. You're spending that, you're making a substantial investment in the service. And that means a person's very serious and they're not just going to walk away from it. So I think that builds already a foundation of trust and a tremendous amount of what's the word, like effort or stamina to want to stick to it, instead of trying to sit on a thing like, I don't even know the name of a real big dating app in the States that's, they're I think they're just diluted. They're overly diluted with candidates.
So David, another question. What is the number one reason that you decided that Satoko is the right person for you?
Well, I think just being able to spend 90 days with like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. I think it's Twins with Matt Damon and the other actor, where they were like stuck they were bonded together. They call them like the Siamese twins, where the bodies are stuck together. If you can stay stuck to a person for up to 90 days in the same house 24/7, that and get along and not have any issues and enjoy all of that time, that definitely something to want to hold on to, in my opinion. So I'm surprised it's even been 4 years, right? Has it been 4 years? 2020, almost 4 years. Yeah, I'm surprised that it's going so fast, and we already have a 1.5-year-old and another one on the way. But it feels like it's only been like really like a year, maybe. I don't, even though it's been almost 4, but it goes really quick.
Yeah.
So
how about Satoko-san? ズバリデイビッドさんを選んだ理由っていうか、決め手
she wants to know the same question.
Same question, yes.
Yeah. 日本語でいいですか？
日本語でいいですよ。英語でもいいですよ。
Oh, yeah.
ロイヤル、なんていうんですか、とても誠実で毎日連絡をくれて、もう、そういうところに惹かれました。
That's it? Nothing else? That's
She
all?
said, she said you are very
That's all? Just loyal.
loyal.
Yeah,
And
loyal.
you
She means loyal by like I'm always every day I'm hardworking.
every day
Go out,
contact,
get more money, make more money, bring more money home. Very loyal, hard worker.
you contacted her every
Yeah.
day, every moment you give her
I think we
Give her-
we video chatted every single day for like an hour or 2 hours.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
And to be
great.
surprising, guys, we're not really big, want to be on the phone, video chatting,
Yeah.
social media, I see the computer as a tool, not as an entertainment item. Like if I go on a computer, I go on there for something specific. I don't use the Facebook anymore. I haven't used it for many, many years. And they got that TikTok thing or the Instagrammer thing. So I just like to do things more outdoors. So yeah, that was definitely something that we got on and we just kind of chatted and it just kind of flowed really easy. Her English is very good, so it helped tremendously for us. So I think if I had to say, any like milestone to get over with the service is trying to match the language.
How did you learn English, Satoko-san?
I was in Hawaii.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. I went
How
to
long?
6 years.
Oh, 6 years.
Oh, wow.
That's why. That's why. Because many of our female members are struggling in language.
Communications, yeah, that makes it very
Communication.
hard for dating.
Yeah.
I'd say that's definitely a factor that was huge in our success, was because of the not having a big language barrier. I can only imagine that it's really hard to get a sentence out or to convey what you're really thinking.
And I think that you are a good listener. That's why one of the reasons she
You
can.
would say I'm not a good listener.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
ですよね。ですよね。
I say she's not a good listener. I'm like, you don't listen to me.
I am.
So
You're joking.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
So, are you happy?
Yeah, we're expecting our second child here
Most time, yeah.
in next month, but I would say 99.5% of the time, there's always that little hump,
Of course.
getting used to each other's habits.
Mhm.
When you move in and you spend so much time with each other, eventually, it's like, hey, don't leave your shoes on the floor. Hey, put the lid down on the toilet. Hey, like don't leave your dishes in this. You got to learn those little quirks about each other and getting those things situated. But those kind of things iron themselves out. There was never really any big issues that we had to really kind of face with each other, any major bad habits or anything like that. So I think the age matching was pretty good for the two of us. I think older men are more stabilized and they get a lot of things out of their system at a younger age, and they mature out at an older age, and it works out much better when you're ready to go and date and settle down.
Okay. So,
David, do you have anything or something that you would like her to improve or
To
change
improve on
or change?
that, boy, I don't really. I'm trying to think of something. She's it took her a little while with the cooking. She really stepped up to the bat to learn a lot of different recipes. But as guys, I don't think we're super picky about food. To us, there's never really a bad pizza. It's just a pizza. we'll still eat it. There's a really good pizza, but we still eat it. We don't complain that, food's food. So, but she really, she's really done good with not knowing how to do American cooking. And then, today now she does all kinds of different cooking dishes and stuff, but we're big foodies. I'm not a finicky eater. So there's, we both can share in each other's cuisines. So she's very Americanized in that way. She can do hamburgers, hot dog, pizza, yeah, she's not picky with that. And on the same time, I can do, all of the, the Japanese type dishes and stuff.
I see.
So, but I haven't really seen anything outside of that that I would say I'd really want her to change. I never really had something to really think about, I'm going to keep thinking of that one. Maybe towards the end of the interview, something might pop in my mind for that.
Okay.
Satoko-san, do you have something expect?
Well, she wants me to change all the time. He's like, shave your beard. I don't like your beard. Shave it. So I don't like the shirt. Take that shirt off. It's got too many holes in it. Throw those ugly shoes away. I don't like those ugly shoes, But we have our favorite shoes, right? They might look ugly, but they fit good. So I'm just kidding. I mean, if you want to say anything, tell them, what do you want to change about me?
なんでしょうね。ちょっとパッと出てこない。
Difficult question. So she's good woman.
She's good.
I'm still thinking about that one because it's a good opportunity. This is like this is not an interview. This is like counseling session. This is
No. That's okay. If she doesn't have it, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So the next question is,
well, we've already talked about this, but how will you two live together? And do you have any specific plans for the future?
No major specific futures. We are getting a condo, and we do plan on, traveling back and forth and spending a lot of time so that our children can get, the both sides and try to get a balance of influence and, have schooling in Japan. It's
in
very
Japan?
important. We'd love our children to go to school in Japan.
Really?
Rotate back and forth. But it's up to about the age of 4 or 5 that the brain has its most greatest growth spurt, and that's the best time to pick up a language and to have it fluently with. So we would really love to have that. That's why we got the condo in Japan.
I see. So you're going to teach Japanese and English both?
Yeah, both.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's a good opportunity.
We kind of set the rule that mom can only speak Japanese and I will only speak English.
Well, trying.
So and I'm looking forward to it too, because then I can learn more Japanese. So this will be a chance.
Do you study?
Well, I speak some Japanese, but I only speak the words that she teaches me. So she always is making me say, oh yeah. 許してください, 許してください, or すいません,赤-chan.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so those are really the only 2 phrases I know really well. She's always telling me, you tell me now in Japanese.
My son, first one, お腹すいた, I'm hungry.
Oh, I need to learn that one. I need to learn that
お腹すいた.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one question, the last question.
Okay. So lastly, would you give any encouraging words for our members?
That's a very good question.
About finding the right partner.
Yeah, I would love to encourage people that if they want to use this service, that it's a big plus and that it vets out its candidates, that there's I think it really increases the amount of efficiency for you, because the service is very effective. It's doing all of the vetting for you. So you can take a pool of 10,000 candidates and narrow that down, and you're going to get an ROI on that of pretty much really 100%. I mean, like there's someone there for you, and you know that they're a real individual. And a lot of these dating apps just unfortunately cannot do that, especially here in the States. And even with a lot of the apps that they have in the States for dating outside of the country, those are even very risky, even more. I mean, they're in there. You don't know who's on the other end of that, so they're not a trusted service. I think that one thing you guys have going for you is you eliminate the what if scenario. I think the trust is is at an all-time high level, and that's where the value, if the money is going towards, is to have something that you can really trust. I really enjoy the fact that you guys do the vetting process. I think maybe men might sound like, oh, that's kind of offensive. You're digging too deep into my finances and my background. But then realizing that, wait a second, I mean, that also speaks in volumes of what your service does for individuals. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing, like maybe the bank kind of harassing you about your identity, but you're like, hey, they're there to protect you. So it's not that they're harassing you. You guys are doing these background checks and vetting people out, and the result of that is 100% trustworthy candidates. Mm-hmm. And that's what's really key to it. If I had to pick a tag phrase for you guys, it'd be finding trustworthy candidates is definitely a great tagline for you guys. I didn't think once about that. Never crossed my mind. When I met with my matchmaker, the picture, everything, it didn't even pop in my mind though, like the what if, So that's what I enjoyed tremendously about it, and I think that's where all the value is.
Thank you very much. じゃあ、さとこさん、なんか日本語で、これから結婚する、国際結婚を考えてらっしゃる皆様に何か一言お願いします。二言でもいいんですけど。はい。
もう、結婚、もうスタートラインなので、もう今と思ったら、もう、頑張って、相手を探す、もう、頑張ってほしいです。
はい。はい。迷ってないですよね。もう本当に。
もう、そうですね。ゴールじゃないけど、もう結婚するって決めてから、もう行動して、はい。はい。今に至ります。はい。
ありがとうございます。じゃあ、これで、インタビューを終わりたいと思います。Thank you very much for your sharing of your happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
We appreciate it.
sharing your happy experience.
ありがとうございます。Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the successful matchmaking.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.